All right, who do you like TV? How you doing out there, everybody? We got a legendary show right now. So stay tuned. We got a Hollywood star actor that's going to be talking about all his shows. Josh Cruze, everybody. Say hello to Josh Cruze.
Hey,
and my
hey.
brother Drew Coscia came on today because this is a show that from the beginning of time, right, Josh?
Right.
That we were a local band that played all over Staten Island. We did. I know everybody out there knows the Wagon Wheel, right?
Right.
The Lancaster Lounge.
Right.
What else? The Brown Derby in
Brown
Brooklyn.
Derby.
Right.
What other? You have any other names that could?
Oh, yeah, the El Dorado.
The El Dorado.
In by the Wayside.
In by the Wayside. All you baby boomers out there, and Josh, they used to come just to see you.
No,
Dude,
no,
you're crazy there. He was a wild dancer, everybody. He was like the Saturday Night Fever.
Yes.
Oh, that's a Who Do You Like TV song, guys.
Yeah, love it.
Playing, yeah. Who do you like? All right. We'll listen to that later, Brian. Yeah, Who Do You Like TV? That's our new theme song for the
Nice,
show.
nice.
And this is going to go out all over the world now, the show. It's not, yeah, it's all going to go out everywhere. Well, it's in all the boroughs of New
Yep.
York and
Yep.
everything. So, all right, Josh, now that we got you in the studio, Drew's here, we can't believe that you came back after 40 years and you're
Yes.
still doing it.
Yeah.
You're still doing it, and you're doing some major stuff.
Yeah, I am doing some major stuff.
So, tell the people some of the things lately that you've done, and
Well, I think the most meaningful thing that I've done in theater was a play called Tracers that was originated in California
Okay.
and done at the Odyssey Theater. They were all Vietnam vets.
Vietnam vets.
And they brought the show then to Chicago, where Gary Sinise directed it, and Dennis Farina was the drill sergeant in that production.
Wow.
And when they saw it there, they decided to bring it to New York and see where they could put it. And so we produced it at the Public Theater, downtown Manhattan.
Wow, that's cool.
Where it got rave reviews.
How long ago was that now?
1985 and 86.
Wow,
We
wow.
were voted the best play of the season. I mean, I mentioned all
Yeah.
the plays all over the country, musicals that this country produces. We were top 10 in that season.
Wow.
Tracers, it was called. And all Vietnam vets were
I remember
in the
that.
cast, produced by Vietnam vets.
Yeah.
And that's when I got
So
it.
now these are all your
These are all my decorations from the battalion, Delta Company, 1st
Wow.
Battalion, 27th Marines. If you Google it, you'll
Wow.
see my battalion. They wrote 2 books on our battalion, our heroics in Vietnam. And I'm trying to get a movie produced and get a treatment so we can have something done soon on
Yeah.
the 27th Marines.
wow, that's
Yeah.
something, man. So yeah, and you were what were you shot down? You were injured in
I joined the Marines when I was 17, and I went to Paris Island. I went to Camp Lejeune. I'm sure you heard a lot about Camp Lejeune.
Yeah, Camp-
I'm suffering with cancer right now because of my
Yeah.
service in Camp Lejeune. Went to Hawaii for advanced infantry training for 5 months, and then the Tet Offensive happened in 1968, and they needed bodies, so we were in Hawaii training.
Yeah.
And we were assigned to the 1st Marine Division, where we saw a lot of action.
Wow.
And I was wounded in a landmine explosion. May
It was a
17th.
landmine.
A landmine,
Wow.
a major operation. My buddy got killed next to me. 30 Marines died that day.
Oh, my
Almost
God.
50 wounded.
Wow. So you were.
Saw a lot of action.
You were in the real deal of it. Oh.
Yes.
I know a lot of people that were in the Army, the Navy, but they never had the action that you got. Oh, action, right? Is that how you got into Hollywood? They said action.
Action. Well, I needed
Yeah.
a place to release, all
Yeah.
of what's going on, and I found music. And I went to Staten Island Community College, became a lead
Yeah.
singer. I played with a band called, I forget their name right now, but then after this band, I met you guys,
Yeah.
and we created Shootin Star.
Shootin Star
Yes.
Band. Everybody on Staten Island knows us. They still
Yeah.
talk about. Oh yeah, Shootin Star Band. You played at the Lancaster. You played at the Wagon Wheel.
We recorded a disc and had it in the jukeboxes
Yeah.
here.
Yes,
And
Disco
that's-
Lights.
Exactly. The
Disco-
diner, remember the diner over in
Yeah.
Clove?
Yeah, Victory Diner.
The Victory
Oh,
Diner.
yeah.
We had
Yes,
it.
the Victory
That's
I
right.
actually have on one of my openers. I have the Victory Diner still. I'm the only one probably has a video with the Victory Diner in it.
Wow.
I should have actually.
Yes.
I don't. We don't have it, but next show I'll show. But yeah, we had the Victory
Didn't
Diner.
we also do the Studio 54?
Studio 54. Yeah, you were
Right.
talking about the
Was it
disco.
Studio-
The disco with Saturday Night Fever, didn't we?
Yeah,
play?
yeah, I think.
What was that? That was.
Saturday Night Fever, we played
Yeah.
on 65th Street in Brooklyn,
That's
7th
right,
Avenue.
7th
They
Avenue,
had
right.
live music until they went into the DJ, the disco era.
Right.
Yes.
And they did the movie there right after
Right after
they
we
stopped
did-
live
yeah.
music kind of for a while.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
were also you met Brad Pitt. You were in his
Brad
movie?
Pitt, I worked with Brad Pitt on The Mexican about 18 years ago.
Wow.
I played a mariachi singer. We redid a song from Los Lobos. The licensing
I
for Los
love Los
Lobos
Lobos.
was, very expensive. They wanted 70 grand for licensing, so they hired Josh Cruze to do a version of it.
You
and
were-
play
yeah.
in the movie.
Wow.
And probably a fraction of the cost.
I
They
see
didn't
that.
even know how big it was going to be, but that movie was
it,
huge.
It was huge.
Yeah.
James Gandolfini was in
Yeah.
it.
James
Julia
Gandolfini,
Roberts, Brad Pitt, and
Yeah.
had a great time shooting. And when we shot Bullet Train 2 years ago, that Brad just had this movie come out, I was wondering if you remember me because I played a bartender.
Wow.
And I said, I don't know if you remember me, but we did a movie 18 years ago, and he remembered me. you know.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? Yeah, that's what it's like. What I was telling you when we met Tom Jones
Right.
up in Canada.
Right.
And when we went to see him, but we couldn't get to talk to him because he fled before we were in the back. But we became good friends with Tom Jones.
Whoa,
Jones.
I love
And
Tom
you sang,
Jones.
you
Love-
sang,
love-
you
Yeah.
sing Tom Jones really good.
Very
Josh
good.
is also a great singer
Thank you.
and a performer, and a dancer. So
And
he's
used
the
to do
real
the-
deal. And he
did
came
the
out
Elvis.
of
Remember when we came out with the Elvis that night?
Elvis, he did the- you
Love
did-
the of the
We had the-
Elvis.
We had the
Elvis thing.
line going
But I mean-
out of the Lancaster.
But
waiting
you
on
just,
line to
you know
come
what's
in.
so great about that time? You know, even though me and Drew were like, you were beginning, but you were advanced. You knew it was coming, you know. But the Elvis thing
Right.
was like you just winged it, right?
Winged
You
it,
just
winged it.
acted
Just
it out,
winged
like
it
the
out.
way. If somebody
Exactly.
said, "Could you do an acting of Elvis?"
Boom,
you did it.
and
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
I actually.
You had a lot of women following you. Those no, I'm just saying like here. No, the girl you with now, she's beautiful. She's a great.
Those were
Great
days
girl.
we want to put behind.
Well, you know, yeah, but it wasn't. This is the business, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tom Jones.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
married for 50 years.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
girl in America
Yeah,
loved
yeah.
him. Is that right?
Yeah, I hung out with
Yeah.
Engelbert Humperdinck for a while. Right after
Oh, wow.
I went to Manhattan, and they were trying to have me work on the staff, but because of the laws in England, you had to be an English citizen. They couldn't hire me, so that was a nice period of
true,
time.
I
I got to
remember
hang out
that.
with him. And Tom and Engelbert were managed by the same manager, Gordon Mills.
Gordon
and
Mills,
so I got
yeah.
to be see those folks perform, which they were amazing acts back then.
Yes.
As we all know,
Yeah.
Sinatra's and
Yeah,
Sinatra.
great.
Well, we found out that we were related to Sinatra through my grandmother. And my
Really?
mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
Through-
Amazing.
who'd we have dinner over the house with?
Saputo.
No, the Italian singer.
Oh, you're talking about Jimmy Roselli.
Jeremy
Roselle,
Roselli,
yeah.
another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, we
Still
were,
love
we, were,
Jimmy.
we were working with his daughter
We
on the
opened
road.
Right.
We opened the Harris Casino the first time it opened in the showroom
Right.
with his daughter, but she had two names.
Right.
She didn't. She wasn't supposed to use the real name,
Oh.
whatever that was.
Yeah.
So
Well,
then she didn't get along with her father or something,
Yeah.
whatever.
no. What the story was that he was supposed to do a birthday party
Right.
for Sinatra's family,
Right.
For the
and he
mother.
didn't show up.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And after that, they started bottom feeding him.
Yeah.
Right.
But he still had a great voice, and but
Yeah.
once you lose that loophole,
Right.
the power was in Sinatra and
Yeah.
all his all his clan, you know.
Right.
And you got to be in it to win it, but.
Yeah. You guys were amazing, you know, Drew, amazing
Yeah.
guitar player,
Thank
drummer,
you. Yeah.
James with the bass, and you guys
Yes.
toured with
Yeah.
some major.
Well, that's what I was
people.
I was telling you, right, Josh?
Yeah.
When we worked with Tom Jones, I got off the stage and he comes over. He orders 4 bottles of Dom Perignon.
Right.
He sits me down. He says, "Fred," he says, "you guys are the best rhythm section, young rhythm
Right,
section
right.
I've heard
Right.
around." You know, and I was like, "Wow, this is," and I said, "Drew,
Yeah.
Tom Jones."
Right.
Now listen to this. I just found out recently he's worth about $300 million. Now, I said, $300 million. You know what he asks me?
Right.
And Drew was there.
Yeah.
He goes, "Could you get me a country song, Fred, so I could put on my next album?"
Right.
And I'm looking at him like, country?
Yeah.
Country? We just got over the disco era,
got into
the
that,
rock
though.
and
We
roll
got into
era,
it.
the everything era. But when it came to country,
Right.
I said, wait, I don't even I got my horse ready to go yet. But I'm just saying, it's amazing. Like you
Yeah.
meet people, like you met like Brad Pitt. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nobody more bigger than him.
Brad
And
Pitt,
you worked with
I
him.
did work with Tom Hanks in a movie when he did Dragnet, 1980, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I played a police officer, and I got all my friends there going to the movie, and they cut me, all you see is my back, picking up a body and bringing it
Oh, wow.
off this ship. But then it happens in this industry
Yeah.
where you actually do a scene with a major star, and then you're waiting to see your work, and they cut it out of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, you know.
That is sad.
That you're so excited, you know, and people would recognize you working
Yeah.
with a major star like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did a movie.
How did it feel? How was he as a person? Like, did you talk to him like personally at all?
You know, when you get on a set, you're kind of
Yeah.
like in your head about your line delivery
Yeah,
and
yeah, I know,
getting
you're
in the
worried
moment,
about-
getting
right.
into
Yeah.
character. If you have a moment maybe at lunch or a break where they have,
Yeah.
you might go up and maybe have a conversation
Yeah.
with them because they're getting ready in their character.
Right.
And you don't want to, you know, interrupt them in their thought process of what they're going through. But maybe at the rap party, you know, when it's all over,
Yeah.
and you have then it's a whole, they're approachable and you have to
Yeah.
have a conversation with them.
It's just amazing, like once you everybody looks see Brad Pitt. Like when I says, "Oh, I have an actor coming on that, did a movie with Brad Pitt." Oh, they're like, "Wow," they can't believe it, But
Yeah.
yet, you're right there, It's
I
like
did a movie 2 weeks ago with Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen.
Wow.
You know, and the NDA, you got to sign an agreement. You can't talk about the movie. You can't have a
Can't,
scene in a
right. Yeah.
movie. And
Wow.
if you do, you can have legal action done
Is
against
it
you.
coming out soon?
Yeah, it's next year. We
Oh,
just
next
shot
year.
this
Oh, I got it.
a couple of weeks ago. So, and it's nice to be on the set with. I mean, they got about 50 people.
Oh, yeah.
It was downtown Los Angeles, so they had a lot of police presence. With the
Yeah.
motorcycle cops
Yeah.
directing traffic and telling people to move on, so that they could work. But
Wow.
it's nice to be just a few feet from these two major stars,
Yeah.
while they're processing what they got to do to go to this diner that's behind us to do the scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so you'll give them that courtesy.
It's like my song. I make you a star, no matter who you are.
So I'm doing a gig down in Long Beach, California, and I'm singing a song, and this guy had a few drinks, and he takes the mic from my hand and starts singing the song, and I get whatever, and the people are like, what the hell? The place is
Yeah.
packed. So the two bouncers come up next to this guy and look at him and says, put the mic down. So he gives me the thing.
That's
pick
what
him up,
happened.
And this guy's legs are just like, and they took him out of the club.
Isn't it amazing when you're in a club, you never know what is
You
going to
never-
happen?
exactly.
Look at, we had the Hell's Eight, right? Do you remember that night? We
Yeah.
were up in the country playing at this, drinking, but it was a real saloon.
Right.
But all of a sudden, they came in, and I'm playing, and Drew Coscia, and the guy's going, "Play this song." I said, "Drew," I says, "just shut up. I'm gonna play. What was that song? What was that rockin' the bike song? Temperatures are rising.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. I can't remember the name. But so anyway, I said, just do it. Just play it. And we played it for about an hour straight. We soloed to it. We did everything,
you know, we have our war stories being
Born to be
musicians.
Wild. That's what I.
Born to be Born to
yeah.
be Wild.
Couldn't
Great,
think of
great,
it. Born to be
great.
Wild.
I love that song.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
No, you
never
we
know.
did a wedding, and we told the gal that you shouldn't book it by the beach during the time because of the weather in California.
Wow.
Well, sure enough, she went and booked it anyway, and guess what? It starts. So the DJ left. He took his equipment and he said, "Hey, this is this girl's wedding. She's crying. She's upset, you know."
Sure.
So we said,
Yeah.
"Don't worry, we'll take care of it," you know. So we went out there and just rocked another set out for her, and she was happy. But this is the stuff
Yeah.
that we,
I know.
you know, happens
But I
to
think
us.
that's what kept us interested.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
besides the music
How
itself.
about when we brought my mother and father to this place in Bayonne? We had
Okay.
a place. It was
Right.
like a, you know,
Was
regular.
he with us when we?
No,
when we-
no. And then it was we were gonna play. We opened for Dr. Hook. Remember Dr. Hook?
Yeah, yeah.
Dr.
Right.
Ho, yeah.
And all of a
Dr. Ho.
sudden,
Dr.
we're
Ho,
sitting
we-
there. My father's there. My mother's there, and a bunch of strippers come out. They start stripping women. And my mother takes her arm and said, "What the F are you looking at? Wax them." I says, "You didn't tell me this was you brought me to a strip bar." I said,
Yeah.
"Ma, I didn't know it was a strip bar." And then Dr. Hook started playing. They had strippers going.
Yeah.
You never know what you're
How
gonna
about, you know
get
when he
into.
missed too? Tiny
Yeah.
Tim. Remember when we played
Tiny
Tiny
Tim,
Tim?
yeah.
He tuned. He
Oh,
used to tune his guitar.
Yeah.
Then we had to pick him up
Yeah,
and take
Tiny
him up
Tim.
to the where they
We
had the.
played Christmas Day
Right.
in Long Island
Right.
with Tiny
Oh,
Tim.
They were throwing
And
tulips all
it was
over
a,
us.
it was a it was a
Tiptoe
crazy bar.
to the
It
top.
was you know, a female and male
Right.
on one side, and he started performing, spinning around. They went absolutely nuts on Christmas Day.
Right.
Can you imagine
Right.
performing on Christmas Day with Tiny Tim?
Tiny-
all over the place?
Tiny Tim, yeah. Oh, he would have got along good with
And then we
Josh,
did
right?
then we did the reunion,
Yeah.
the Woodstock reunion. We took him up to Woodstock.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he performed the Woodstock, a small, you know, not
Yeah,
as
yeah,
big
yeah.
as, of course, Woodstock, but a small gathering.
See what you missed, Josh?
Yeah.
But you did a lot of good
Well,
stuff in
the thing
California.
is,
Great
the
stuff.
The reason, I mean, I did soap operas here. I
Yeah.
did a lot of commercials and print work and theater when I was in New York. So when I did Tracers for 6 months here at the Public Theater, we got rave reviews, packed every night.
Wow.
The Max Stanford Clark, the artistic director of the Royal Court in London, was having a play with Brian Cox upstairs doing the Rat in the Skull
Yes.
about the Irish Republican Party. He came to see a show, and he says, "I want to take this show to London." And so we were excited, but we could have ran another year.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I said, look, as an American actor, I would love to have said I did a show on a London stage and been reviewed
Yeah.
by the
Yes.
London press. And so we took a vote and we went to London. We had an amazing time. Opening night on the Thames on a boat, partying like crazy. Then we went to like an after hours, and when I came
Yeah.
back, they said, "Hey, we're doing the show in New York. We couldn't open the show in New York. We're going to do it in Los Angeles. Would you want to come for 4 months to do
Wow.
the show?"
Wow.
So I talked to my family. They said, "Yeah, fine. Go do it for 4 months and come back." Well, guess what? I went to Los Angeles, did the show, and I was reading for some major roles. Went for L.A. Law, Jimmy Smits, the actor.
Yeah.
He got the role of Victor Cifuentes, and I got a role as a thug with Patrick Swayze's son,
Wow.
Patrick Swayze's brother, Don Swayze, who looked just like it. Was a rare to be in the courtroom
Wow.
and next to Don Swayze. And Alfre Woodard won an Emmy for her performance, a guest
Yeah.
starring, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
Her performance, and I started getting roles
Wow.
in major guest starring, and I was up for Richie Valens.
Richie Valens.
Richie
yeah.
Valens.
I
Wow.
love
and
that.
I
movie.
played guitar.
I
I played
love that
guitar,
movie.
and they thought he
Yeah.
could be the next Richie Valens.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Absolutely.
Hack Patel, the producer and the director, had me in for one last meeting, and my manager was happy, my agents were happy, and they said, "This is your role." So they're in the room. I'm playing La Bamba with a guitar, and out of nowhere they say, "Hey, Josh, how old are you?"
Oh,
And I said,
man.
"I'm 35," and they was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
We didn't know you were that, because I look really young
Yeah.
for a
Yeah, you
35
are.
year
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
totally
No.
Puffed out.
Oh, you were perfect for it.
And
Perfect
so
for it.
they
But the-
they said, "No, it's okay." So I went. We had payphones then. They called my agent, my manager, and I said, "I think I just blew this role." He said, "What do you mean?" And all of a sudden I hear screaming on the phone when I told him. and in the air, and I'm like ready to lose it, cry because this was a role of a lifetime to play Richie Valens, a rock star who died in a. And so they said, we'll talk to the producers and we'll see if we can play an older brother because it could look older.
Yeah.
Was a motorcycle kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Well, they gave it to Esai Morales, who just came off a movie called Bad Boys with Sean Penn about Juvie Hall and all that. They gave it to him, and that was. And, and I forgot about it.
Isn't it amazing though? Like you come so close. Because I know how it is. Like even with I did a couple of things in your town, and I ended up getting on Avril Lavigne's video. I was a principal in that, Right. I didn't know. I said, "Who's this girl comes out of the thing? She looked like she was 12 years old." I said, "Wait a minute. I've been in the business for 35 years. Don't tell me that's the singer. That's the star."
Right.
Oh yeah, that's Avril Lavigne. I said, "Get out." 2 weeks later, the song went to #1 on the charts. I says, "That's it. I need to get another job." Well, no, but it was great. I mean, I was happy to be in. Just like you're happy to listen. Even if you don't make the promised land, you're happy to be there.
Happy to be there, and they gave the vote to Lou Diamond Phillips. He did a pretty good job playing Richie Valens and Esai Morales. So. But you have to let that stuff go. Otherwise,
you would have been.
But some it's meant to be in certain ways because you wouldn't have ventured into other things that you did. You know what I mean? You'd be like stiff-armed for something because you did something, and then all of a sudden everything stops, and you don't get the bottom feeder rolls.
I remember many times going home and looking in my rearview mirror and said, "You suck. Get out of this business. You went in there, and you don't even deserve to be in this town. Don't even show your face anymore." And I get home, and I said, "You booked the role for 2 weeks." And I said, "How does that happen? That the roles that you want, and you think you nailed, and you think you're rightful, they went another way, Josh. You were good, but they went another way. Yeah. But then you get the roles that you didn't think you were gonna get. So
what would you tell? I mean, they're hearing it in live time right now, but what would you tell people that are just getting into the business like that? It's like starting out the way you started.
I had an acting teacher who was David LeGrand. He was actually Marilyn Monroe's teacher, but when he was a younger teacher in New York, in Midtown Manhattan. Took class with him. Great acting teacher. He also went to Los Angeles and taught. I studied with him. He said to the class, he said, "I want everybody here that's looking to be a star and have the mansion and the big limousine cars back then, and walking on the red carpet. Remember one thing, ingrain this in your head and never forget it. The harder you work, the luckier you get. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead in this business. Study, go in, don't give up. Just keep giving it everything you got. You will get your shot if you hang in long enough. And
your experience and just doing it, you're getting better because you're saying, "Wow, I could do this better. I could do that. I could look better at this. I could." You know what I mean? I could change my look. I could change my attitude. Whatever.
I remember Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah,
was a doorman at 2020.
He had one great story.
One great story. And I used to see him opening the door for people and looking at the clipboard to see who can let into the club. And we got in because my manager knew the owner, and we got in to celebrate birthdays. But look who he turned out to be, with the Bronx Tale.
Well, it seems to be even with music. If you write one hit song, you become you become the top level.
Exactly.
You don't have to have it, especially today. You don't have to have a whole album. You just need one.
I'll tell you a story about. I did a musical on Sunset Boulevard, a theater that did a lot of wonderful productions for a lot of stars that wanted to do some theater in Los Angeles. Well, we did a musical. We got some awards and we ran for a long time. And we closed the show. I get a call from one of the young actress who was the ingenue, and she tells me, "Josh, could you do me a favor and play the guitar for me? I have a big role to audition for with Jay Moore, Cheech Marin, in this movie called Paulie Aparitif. Jenna Rollins was in it. Buddy Hackett was in it.
Wow,
Tony Shalhoub was in the film." And I said, "Sure, Tia, let me go down." So I went down to Fox. With my guitar, I rehearsed with her 2 songs. One that was on my first CD called Estoy Loco. The other one was a Gypsy King song, a very legato song. And we rehearsed the song. We went down to 20th Century.
Yeah.
So I had a choice to make: either do the Gypsy Kings or the Esther Loco, the first track of my very first CD.
Wow.
We went in there and we played it like two parrots because it was about a young little girl and a parrot. It's
Right.
called Polly a Parrot Sale, it was called. Beautiful
Wow.
story. So I came out after the performance with her in there with the producers, the directors, casting director, and I said to her, I'm so happy for you, man. We killed it. We nailed it in there. She wanted to give me $100. I said, Tia, forget about it. My gift and happiness is the fact that we just did an amazing job in there, and I keep my fingers crossed that you got the role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she calls me a week later. I booked the role, and I booked the voice of the parrot, one of the singing
Oh,
Balupi
wow.
parrots.
Oh, wow.
And I think they're going to use your song in the movie. I said,
That's
"Come here."
great.
I said, who am I? You know, they got, this is
Yeah.
DreamWorks we're talking about. They're going to use
DreamWorks,
some major
huge, yeah,
writer,
sure.
you know,
Yeah.
that's out there in Hollywood. Well, who calls me? I'm raking leaves on the yard. But they come to the door and they say, they got a phone call for you from DreamWorks. Someone calls me while I'm raking leaves. I go inside. I said, yes, this is Julie Bushko from DreamWorks. Who wrote Estee Loco? I said, I did. Who's your publisher? I said, I don't have a publisher. Well, you better get one because we want to use the song in the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you kidding me? You know? So I
Wow.
called my agent. I told my
So,
agent,
yeah.
hey, this is going on, and I don't know what to do. He says, I worked in music in Ohio. I'll call up and I'll try to get a
Get it
deal
going,
in
yeah.
place, right? So I said, Michael, I don't care if I get $10 for my song placement. I just want to see my name on the
Yeah.
said written by Josh Cruze as the local.
Really?
You know, so he got me $2,500 for the licensing fee.
Yeah.
And then we went to Capitol Records, iconic, where the Beatles recorded, you know, all the big
Oh,
names
yeah.
recorded at Capitol over on Sunset, that round building.
Yep.
We were down there recording my song, and I'm teaching Cheech Marin my song, and Tia Texano, Jay Moore, and I'm like pinching myself, not like, this is not going on.
That's
Yeah.
This is not real
Yeah.
right now. So Cheech and I had a
Wow.
great conversation. We recorded the song. We went to and then they wanted to use me to play in the cantina scene where he had the little parrot singing downtown. And I said, could my band possibly be in the cantina? Because they're going to hire other musicians and extras.
Wow.
So they got my band,
Right.
to play as the cantina. It's in it. I mean, you can rent the movie. It's a,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
workout.
I know the
Cantina,
movie.
yeah.
Holy Pencil.
Yeah.
And so the guys were excited. We recorded in Capitol. Now we're downtown, and I could not believe that was my first placement
Isn't that
ever.
something?
in-
There it is, right
That
there,
was
the
yeah.
picture, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
was
that's
it.
my band. Yeah, that's
That's your band, right?
Dan Sistos, Larry Goldman.
Yeah.
He did Happy Gilmore, all the music for Happy Gilmore.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
he was a
wrote all
composer
the-
on that.
Cool.
UC's an amazing guitar player, and then Emiliano, an amazing drummer. That we've toured and we went to Vegas. We went all over California.
Wow.
We actually played for Fred Wilpon's son
Wow.
for the Mets.
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
wow.
They
yeah.
flew us out there.
Oh, that's right up your
they flew us
alley.
To New York. Yeah, I was there.
Wow.
Sandy Koufax was there.
Wow.
All the greats of baseball, and we're doing the cocktail hour for these guys.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
what we played for the birthday party. Joe Torre, remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Joe
Joe
Torre.
Torre.
Wow, what a manager.
The Yankees
Yeah,
The
song,
Yankees, yeah.
We got a little clip of that Yankee song. I want to let Josh
Yeah.
see a little of that. Then we're going to go back. Josh Cruze, he's a Hollywood star actor, and he's talking about all his adventures that he had. This is a great episode of Who Do You Like TV with Josh Cruze, everybody. And
Drew Coscia.
Yeah, Drew
Freddie
Coscia.
Coscia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, anyway, but
Starting of the disco
Josh,
era.
you were a big Yankee fan, right?
Oh, huge.
Big.
Huge.
So we're gonna
I
play a
had box
little.
seats.
We're gonna play
I
a little bit of.
remember.
Here's the Yankee song. Yeah, this is the a video that I put together
Nice.
myself. I got all the there.
There you
Reggie
go,
Jackson.
Reggie, yeah.
See if we can name all the guys. Well, this is the
That's DiMaggio.
Do
I have-
Yankee Wave.
I know, that's
That's what
some
it's all
wave.
about, right?
That's some
Yankee
wave right
Wave.
there. There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, how come they don't do? You know what I mean? That's why I put that version in. You know?
Oh, Mariano.
Mariano
Yeah,
Rivera. Yeah.
yeah.
He was huge.
Yeah, the sleeper.
This is Frank James, the guy that sang the lead part in the song. He had that kind of voice, like like your a strong voice to to do that part. Yeah. There he is. Oh, that's Cheetah. And there's
Yogi Berra.
the legends.
The
The
legends.
song is about the legends of the Yankees. I just put it up on TikTok. It got 1,000 hits in one day. So, you know.
That's the new stadium, right?
Yeah. But I figured you like that. Yeah. Martin, right?
Uh,
Well, he was the best, right?
He was the best.
He was the best.
Yeah. Thurman Munson, 10, and
Song of
Run
Rose to You
White.
as we dream life through.
yeah.
This all came in my dream, Josh. And that's not the words, you know? You ever? Yeah, so
Don Larson,
there he is.
Billy
All
Martin.
right, we'll do the chorus and out.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm just showing the legends and
Beautiful.
the songs, right, Reggie?
Reggie.
He was, what was he, no, when was he best? In September, November, October.
Mickey Mantle.
That was Mr. October.
Yeah, Mr. October. Oh, Guidry, Juan Guidry.
Guidry, yeah. See, you know him all.
No,
All right. Yeah. The Yankee Magic.
Yes,
all right.
sir. There you go, Freddie.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, that was it. So you
Yes.
were a big Yankee. I remember
Yes.
when we
Well,
first met, you used to wear the Yankee outfits.
Oh, yeah, I used to
all
think,
the-
I mean, the Dodgers
remember
left,
that.
Giants left.
Yes.
The only team left was the Yankees, so you became a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my father became a Met fan.
Yeah.
I hated to tell him when I came out of my dream that the Yankees were rounded the
Yeah.
bases.
You know what's something beautiful? I came back from Vietnam and I was
Yeah.
in my uniform. I had a cane because my knee was, was almost gone. But I was looking to scalp a ticket, and a cop came up to me and says, "Welcome home." He says, "You got a ticket?" I said, "I'm trying to get it." He went in he gave me a ticket,
Wow.
and I sat at the mezzanine to see a World Series for Game
Jeez.
1. I said,
Wow.
"Oh, whatever, I'm gonna do time."
Yeah, that's.
So this is some of your albums, right? You got Champion, Looking Out My Window. Did you write any?
I wrote all of these songs.
Oh, you wrote all of them. Wow.
I am the artist, I am the writer, and I am the co-producer in these.
Josh Cruze. How could they get you?
Yeah, you go YouTube, free. You get my music.
Everything's free.
Google Josh Cruze, all of my acting videos, and because
Wow.
I've been sick with cancer,
Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
to
you-
really back off on pushing myself because you guys
Yeah.
got the same energy. We're just
Yeah.
full of
Yeah.
energy, but when you're
Oh, yeah.
sick, you gotta really.
I know, you gotta
mind
fight
your-
that,
mind your
too.
health to get it.
Well, you look
Well, you
great.
know what?
Thank you.
You fought through everything in life. I mean, to get to this point,
Yeah.
you
I have fun memories. Your dad, your
Oh.
mom's out
My
there.
father used to go crazy. Yeah, my father.
Come home
I
from
took
3
a-
o'clock from
3
the
o'clock
gigs,
in the
right?
morning, yeah.
They'll be up till
I had to
4,
bring
5 in the
a
morning.
picture of my father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there he is. There's the man,
We used to call him Mr. C.
Mr. C.
Mr.
Yeah,
C.
Mr.
Yeah.
C.
Yeah.
There's the
He used to
guy.
he used to pick us up, drive us to wherever. Yeah.
And we went to Columbia studio.
Yeah.
Recorded at Columbia
Yes, we recorded,
Records.
Yeah, in Columbia Records.
Columbia
and Barbara
Records, yeah.
Streisand was right next door.
Exactly.
Recording at that
Exactly.
time.
And you know something? They would have did something with us. The guy next door to us, he passed away. He
Yeah.
never.
He was the vice president of all of the accountant of Columbia.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
he wanted to do so.
he gave me
that
song.
back then. Imagine if we would have made it back then. We would be here right now. We would have partied ourselves right to the ground.
Did we go to the diner after we recorded that
Yeah.
diner?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that we were there and
Yeah.
some fella came in? He says,
is
"Somebody
Staten
give
Island.
me a phone." No, this was in Manhattan.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Manhattan.
We were in Manhattan.
Yeah.
We just
Oh.
got recording, and the guy was saying, "No, we don't have a phone. We don't have a phone." And he said, "You don't have. We need an ambulance." So I went out there, and some woman jumped out of the building.
Oh, my
And
God.
landed, they committed suicide. And I said, "Why am I going out to see this? I can't." And what
Yeah.
happened is you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
my
was.
God.
I mean, Manhattan was really crazy back then.
Yeah,
Back in the that era. But,
Anything could
but,
happen.
But right after we had a great time recording. Fond memories of you and your family.
Yeah.
Playing all those Staten Island gigs, and that those are the ones that developed all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing that much.
Well, you know what it is. Once you get onto the stage,
Yeah.
whether there's 10 people, 100 people,
Right.
when you feel that energy,
Right.
like, and then when we started playing, right, started playing with the '60s groups,
Right.
we would get Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry.
We had 10,000 people.
Little Anthony Imperial.
Little Anthony and Imperial. We had 10,000 people on the stage, right, that
Yes.
day, right?
Wow.
They would come. The girls were coming up to me. The lights went out, the electric went out, and I started jamming, At at the end, oh, the girls would go, oh yeah, I felt like I was a real rock star. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I made it, you know.
Did you ever do any work in Europe? In Europe, Josh?
I did the play at the Royal Court Theater.
Yeah.
It was the only thing.
It was a different scene, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Compared
definitely,
to
absolutely.
Because we did a concert. You know, we toured with what's the name of the group? Oh God, 1, 2, 3 o'clock rock. That.
Oh yeah.
And
Joey
then-
D and the Starlight.
Yeah. So when we toured with them we did a bus tour. And the places that we went in England and stuff, what a difference! It was like
I
mean,
fell in love with a
people-
cat.
the people.
That's how
the
crazy
people
that
would
tour
actually
was.
like after the show they'd be like,
Remember
"Look
when
at
I
the
remember
kiss,
Drew?
kiss your feet, you
Yeah.
know."
Drew was
Yeah.
waiting for me in the truck, right? I was going around this bar. It looked like Cheers. So I walk in. There was a bunch of girls hanging out in the front there, and one girl goes, "Come here." So I go over to her. I said, "I'm talking." I says, listen, I got to go back because I'm going down to Florida now
Right.
in a couple of hours. Oh, could you just come over to the house for a cup of tea? Cup of tea? Listen, what happened, Josh? I don't want to say it better, but anyway, we go there, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden at the door, it's a cat. I'm not a crazy cat person. I love dogs. And cats, but I love animals, so it didn't matter. But anyway, make a long story short, I go in. I'm sitting on the couch, and I started, I was sit down, I said, listen, I gotta go, I gotta get back to see my brothers waiting for me in the truck, No, listen, Josh, so I get there, now the cat's on the thing, picture this, and the keyboard plays inside, The keyboard player had a problem. He had, like, his feet, something was wrong with his feet, he had, like, smelly feet. So anyway, make a long story short, she goes, listen, I know what to do. She said, take a little of this pill. It won't keep you up just to keep you up so you stay awake. I said, well, I'm not really into. I said, all right. I took it, right. I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm like, all of a sudden, she comes walking in, and the thing. I'm looking at the cat. 5 minutes later, I says, holy shit. I says, Terry. I says, your cat is so beautiful. And I'm saying to myself, why am I falling in love with a cat? Right, Josh? Why am I falling in love with this cat? I mean, I wanted to grab it and, like, marry the thing, right? So I'm over there. All of a sudden, I said, what happened? I said, what did you? Oh, he says it's just gonna keep you up so you could function. So. All of a sudden, I grab her. You ever remember the Bugs Bunny movie?
Yeah.
When you kiss and you get electrocuted, and I'm like, oh man, I'm in love. The weeds, I was loving the weeds. I found out. She goes later on. She goes, I gave you a little bit. Listen to this, a little bit of ecstasy. I said, ecstasy? Isn't that when you fall in love? Then I started thinking. I said, holy shit, that's why I fell in love with the cat, the weeds, everything. No, but it's I never believe it. I never did anything like.
With the cancer, my son said to me, Dad, with the shingles, I had the shingles for 5 months. If you haven't had the shingles, believe me, get a vaccine because
drugs
terrorized me for 5 months. I had the whole side of my head was swollen. I couldn't perform. I couldn't sing.
Really? Wow.
I couldn't do anything because this thing was 24/7. So my son says to me, Dad, go down to the dispensary down in Roland, get yourself a little edible, for the pain. I said, I really left that lifestyle a long time. I don't drink. I don't even take, when I go to the dentist to get something, any painkillers. But I said, I'm in so much pain. So when I took one of these little edibles, they're like a gummy bear. And I forgot about it because once it's in your system, it doesn't work until the food digests.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm coming into the kitchen. I'm going, why am I here? What am I doing here? And I'm wondering, it started to take effect on me.
You start to lose yourself.
Now it's at every corner you could get.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
But it helped with the pain.
Yeah, it helps with the
But
pain.
I had to manage myself not to feel in a point where I'm totally
That's
staring
funny.
at the wall, somebody looking at a light for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that happened to me with my arm. When I broke my arm, they gave me a shot of something. All of a sudden, I get on the wheelchair and I started flying like I was Evil Knievel. I was going. The doctor's going, get him! I said, whoa, here we go, we're going. Really, you get But I mean, listen. There's nothing like a good hit of drugs, but it's not. It'll kill you.
I got a story where I was doing this this show called Twist of Fate on a musical, and I got hired to play Salma Hayek's brother in a movie with Matthew Perry. It was called Fools Rush In. They still show it a lot.
Fools Rush In.
Yeah, it takes place. But I didn't know who Salma Hayek was. I know my agent called me, hey, you're doing this movie, who's in it? I heard Matthew Perry. They were big then. We're talking about 20-something when Friends was. So a friend of mine said, who's in it? Who else is in it? Well, like these other guys. And some actress named Salma Hayek? He said, yeah. I said, is she big? Are you kidding me? She's like up and coming, Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
She was big in Mexico. She's gorgeous. She's going to be my sister, you know. So he says, go get From Dusk Till Dawn, where she does this snake dance. You know, I says, holy cat, she's going to be my sister in this movie.
Wow.
And so went to Vegas. We shot there for about a month, you know, doing the movie. And I got to meet her. And she's like, you know, yay high, you know, a wonderful human being. And I was crazy about meeting Matt Perry. You know, I'd worked with Matt, you know. And so we went shooting with Matt Perry out in the desert and to show him how to shoot, but we were shooting for snakes. And then he fell into a cactus, and we brought him back with all these cactus snakes into the house. But it was a fun movie. And you never know, you know, like I said, where you're going to wind up with this career.
Huge.
No, where you going to...
And it still shows a lot. You know,
I know them. I know. I've seen it plenty of times.
And then you hear a song like Started From the Bottom, Now We're Here, that becomes a #1 hit. You figure it out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I thought of that. Started From the Bottom, Now We're Here.
Yeah. I also got to work on Collateral because they used 2 of my songs with with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. I was leaving the house and I got a phone call, and I was deciding, should I take the call, not take the call, you know. I said, I'm going to take the call. So I can pick up the call, and it's, hi, this is Vicky Hyatt. I'm working on a film with Michael Mann called Collateral, and you had a song place at Poly with Julie Butchko. Could you send us some of your music? I says, where do you live? He says, in Studio City. I says, I'll bring the CDs right now. He says, no, you don't have to do that. He says, just so they know. I said, please. So I go and I handed the CDs in Studio City. Next thing you know, Michael Mann has a meeting with me in his office, and I took my bass player because I said, Michael Mann's huge. He did Heat with De Niro and with and with Al Pacino, that major scene. And I said, I'm going to be with Michael Mann, and I'm going to be there and sit next to him, and I'm not going to listen because I'm just so in awe of the guy. So I took my bass player with me, who had done Happy Gilmore. So we sat there, and he had all these CDs on his desk, and he says, what other song other than Ven Acá Bonita would you suggest? I said, well, there was 2 songs I suggested. So he said, here, play this for me here. So he heard the 2 tracks. He said, all right, guys, I think I got it. And we left. And as we was leaving, Vicky was saying, listen, this doesn't mean your song is in the film. It's just that he took consideration. And so, you know, we'll let you know. So sure enough, they wanted 2 songs out of my first CD, and we got to play in a club called El Rodeo, my band, with Javier Bardem and Jamie Foxx. And 2 big stars, you know. But we were playing the song to a soundtrack. Then we had that they would stop the soundtrack, and we had to make believe we're singing the song. And you know how hard it is not to strum a guitar when you've been strumming all your life, or not to drum when you've been drumming, because they's got to be so quiet on the set. And by the end of the day, I hated my song because
you didn't have no oomph
I
in
it anymore. But you know, it's amazing how.
But how does that work? Like, far as now they take your song.
All right, so they license your song. They negotiate a licensing fee.
Right.
And you have a
licensing.
Then
anybody can take your
and
song.
you belong to.
But that's expensive to do that, right? It's not cheap to license.
Well, it depends on the producers.
They're gonna pay. They're gonna pay. Yeah, because I know I asked for licensing, and they said.
And I got myself a lawyer, and he got me $7,500 per song. They wanted 2 songs, and then they put the 2 songs, and I'm still receiving residual checks.
Wow. That's what I meant.
Huge.
That's why I asked.
Those are
Wow,
huge
that's
films.
great.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
Pauly
didn't know you did.
Oh yeah, they are.
So
yeah.
you did have some.
Yeah, some success in it,
In
and
the
I did a
music.
lot of work with the students over at USC, the
Yeah.
film school. That
I was over
Spielberg
there when
has.
I was
Yeah,
out
so
there.
you know USC.
Yeah, it's
And I've
beautiful.
worked with those folks, and I've given my songs,
That's
to them
terrific, yeah.
to help them out in their careers. Same thing with Chapman Film School. I've helped those film students out, and
Wow.
they've directed. Hey, I've got music here. I want you to have it as gratis,
Yeah.
so that when you become big producers and filmmakers, that Josh Cruze, bring him in, as an actor.
Bring him in.
Yeah,
Right.
so.
It's amazing though. You made it bigger than some of the big stars because you did so much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you did a history of Hollywood. In a lot of different ways. That's why I said if you would have made it, you would have been cut off to what all the other
Yeah,
things that
yeah.
you ended up doing.
And the
you know?
genesis with you guys, the
Yeah.
band that we had,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
where the foundation
Yeah.
of when I started in music, to really get up there in front of an audience and do Sinatra
Yeah,
and
you seem-
do all the Italian favorites, because we had a big
Those were fun times.
Fun times, we enjoyed,
Yeah.
live audience.
We had
live
Staten
audiences.
Island groupies.
Yeah, we sure did. A lot of those.
Yeah.
And here we are, some 50 years later.
Yes.
It's still,
I know.
relationships and talk.
You never stop learning
No,
new
no.
ways to do things in the business,
Exactly.
tricks that
Yeah.
you say, well, I'll try this, I'll do it. And a lot of it fails,
Yeah, yeah,
But you
yeah.
get that one thing that really clicks.
That one thing.
And then you say, oh yeah, now I'm gonna ride this and I'm gonna,
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing as if you're a jockey.
Yeah.
They get on one horse, they go around dead last.
Yeah.
I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Oh, where's your horse? Oh, he's
Yeah.
coming now.
I was talking to Drew earlier about you had done cruise
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 ship,
ships,
yeah.
You had done that
Oh,
for a
that
while.
Josh, every nut that came in every week,
Yeah.
tell him, Drew, that was my best
They
friend.
attached it.
Because I was so bored, I had to get the nuttiest person on. And something they attract. I don't know what it is.
Jim Carrey.
But Jim. We had a Jim Carrey on.
Yeah.
He used to go, hey guys, and I says, holy
I really
shit.
thought he was hanging out. The guy looked just like Jim Carrey. I
Yeah,
thought he was on
yeah.
the cruise,
Right.
Better than Jim. He made Jim Carrey look
Yeah.
Yeah.
not Jim Carrey.
Any crazy stories that you remember for the cruise?
Well, I used to take all of the people on the other side of Mexico.
Right.
They used to say, oh, we want to go here. I said, no. I got a nice little island where they had the gringos
cruises
and the
were nice.
mingos and the wingos. Yeah, they didn't know that we could have got killed at any moment.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we had some
Yeah.
great times.
Yeah. And the music has changed,
Now that I think about it, we had some like.
Yeah, we did.
Thank God for my father and
Yeah, it's changed the music industry,
A lot,
yeah.
and what I find also is I find the people in their 30s and 40s going back to the things that we liked
Yes.
as kids.
I see that a
Going
lot.
back and really embracing.
And even the younger kids like
Younger
the music,
kids.
like that music
Exactly.
a lot.
Oh, and we gotta wait before we go on because maybe you could do one of your like a version of your song like a cappella or something,
Oh,
something like
my
that. Would not.
goodness.
Well, think about it. I want to give my AJ sponsors
Okay.
because this is what brings us in the power of the show.
Absolutely.
Without
Need the
without
sponsors.
sponsors,
Need the
right?
sponsors,
Even on
absolutely.
NBC, CBS, they have sponsors.
So
That's how they
who are
do
your
it.
sponsors?
See, everybody thinks when you do a TV show that the TV show pays you. No.
No.
The sponsors,
Absolutely.
they take care of you. So they take care of us with the food, the advertisements. Who do you like TV?
That's it.
All right, so anyway, our first sponsor, AJC Advisors. That's
Signature Kitchen.
Signature Kitchens, everybody. High Tobacco. Diddly D. We're gonna take you to Diddly D Bagel and
Love
Deli.
it,
That's
love
a
it,
that's
yes.
a Diddly D. Maybe we could do
Hey,
a
Diddly D.
commercial for these songs.
Yeah,
for
let's
these-
do it, yeah.
Bella Beans Cafe. That's where we're gonna go today. Bella Beans Cafe. John is the
Oh,
big
you'll love
TikTok. He's worldwide in TikTok, so he's gonna put you on today on his TikTok
He's
love it.
channel.
famous. He's a famous TikToker.
Island-wide realty
Yeah.
with Tony B. And guess
Yeah.
what? This guy comes on my show, Tony B. Right? I start sponsoring him. All of a sudden, He became huge on
Yeah,
TikTok.
that's it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The
That's
power of
that's
it.
They
the
want
other
him to
part
do. They
of
want
the
him to do
industry
commercials
that we
because
didn't have.
Yeah.
they
It's
want him to do.
self-promotion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
promotion. Yeah.
Self-promotion.
Self-promotion.
That's it's out
Sending
there for
flyers
free.
out, sending flyers
Sending-
out.
yeah,
around,
right.
and,
But now
You're-
it's free.
yeah.
It's
You
free.
got TikTok, you got this one, you got that.
Instagram.
But now you're
Facebook.
your own boss. You know, you don't have to deal with the middle guy. You know, unless you wanna pay him extra. Go ahead, pay him.
I can't influence anybody. I tell you right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. So yeah, Island White Bella Beans Cafe, and listen, they're great. You go in there, you have fun. You know, it's an
What kind of-
entertainment. They have all actors and hosts in there, everything.
Nice.
You know, and I was telling him about you, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's great. Bring him in. Bring Josh in." So anyway, yeah. So you know.
One of the things that I grew up, and I'm sure you guys grew up listening to the Herb Albert,
I loved Herb
Tijuana
Albert,
Press,
man.
right? And
Isn't that it? Yeah.
So,
maybe that was
and
it.
I didn't know that the A&M Records studios and label was Albert and Moss, which was on La Brea in
Yeah.
Hollywood,
Mhm.
you know, and he gave the Carpenters, Karen Carpenter and Richard
Wow.
Carpenter, their start in music.
Karen
Wow.
Carpenter.
So when Karen Carpenter passed away, they did a movie called The Karen Carpenter Story.
Right.
It aired January 1, 1989, and it got the biggest viewership for any January 1st of any year. Huge. Because I loved her. I think she had an amazing voice,
Oh, yeah.
the clarity of voice.
Phenomenal.
So I was cast to play Herb Albert in the movie.
Wow.
And
And you played trumpet, right?
I played trumpet
Yeah, I
in
remember
junior,
you were-
junior high school.
I remember.
I played for 3 years. That's where I got most of my music education.
You still got the chops to play.
I did. I got a trumpet at home, and I
Oh,
still.
you should have brought it when you could have
Well,
played
the
a
thing is,
little
with,
version.
with this going on, I
Yeah.
can't. It hurts to
Oh,
play.
yeah.
I have the shingles, like I mentioned
shingles,
earlier.
yeah.
And any singing, any high note that I hit,
It
it
starts-
is just
oh,
the nerves
wow.
just go through my head. But
Wow.
Herb came down to the studio to see who the guy was that played him in the movie. Okay.
Wow.
And he has a place called Vitello's up on Mulholland in
Mulholland,
Los
yeah,
Angeles.
I know him.
And the biggest acts go there. I just saw a friend of mine, Tino Mancia, who does a tribute to Tom Jones.
Wow.
Amazing.
Tribute to Tom,
We were
wow.
just there last week. And so it's always nice to play someone who's famous.
Yeah.
And to play him, and because he's also they did a documentary on him a couple of years ago, a fascinating documentary about Herb Albert. He's a painter.
He had
he's a writer.
he had such a different
Yeah.
sound, you know.
He did.
you
And I
know?
thought all the time he was Hispanic, and he's not.
Yeah.
I mean-
And you know, I got to love over the years the old Chicago.
Oh,
The old
love
Chicago.
the old
right?
Chicago.
Yeah.
And everybody used to say, "Oh, well, they're not good." I said, "What are you talking about? Not good players. They're playing together as
Yeah,
a band.
yeah.
How many horn sections?
Yeah.
How many? You know what I mean? Horn players
What
could
a
get
sound,
together as
yeah.
a band and make that
Yeah.
kind of a
My
sound.
buddy Ray Eastles does percussion on tour with them now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
so he
Yeah.
always sends me.
They're touring
But
all
the
over.
old, you know, I mean,
Uh-huh.
they came out with more, you know, the process later on, you know. But I
Yeah.
mean, the old Chicago was. Oof.
No, they
Untouchable.
and imagine those guys recorded on tape. It wasn't
Yeah.
digital.
No, it wasn't. Nothing was digital.
You had to really know you have the chops to do what you want to do
Yeah,
without
no,
wasting
there
the
was-
time, the
there
studio
was-
time, and
Now you know why we call this the legendary show.
Right.
I was saying to everybody, this is like a legendary show because we're talking about everything that went on in the business over 50 years.
50 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 73, so.
Yeah.
uh,
We're
yeah,
the,
63.
we're the last of the breed.
Yeah, and-
We're the last of the
Yeah.
good breed that remembers the good,
Yeah.
you know, and there's a lot of people like us out there, but I'm
Right,
saying,
right.
as far as, you know, talking about it, you know.
And you know, always looking back at the icons that we looked up to. To me,
Yeah.
I was a Sinatra fan.
Yes.
Jimmy Roselli.
Jimmy
I
Roselli.
was a Dean Martin.
Dean Martin, yeah.
Tony Bennett.
Oh, Dean Martin's,
Tony
you know,
Bennett.
Dean Martin, you should go on her show. Dean Martin's daughter has a show, Bella Beans.
Oh, okay.
Knows her good.
Yeah,
Maybe
she
we
has a
maybe
show.
get on her.
She's in
her show.
California too, right?
Yeah, she gets out to millions of people now.
She has a show
Nice,
in
nice girl.
California. Yeah,
Beautiful.
you know what? She
You
has a
probably
big
get
show
along
there.
good with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that good.
Look her up.
Very nice too. Very nice person
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
But you know, it's all about
Well,
just making it happen, right?
Oh, that's what it's
If you don't,
all
you
about, making it happen.
Here today, gone to Maui.
2 minutes.
Here today, 2 minutes. Yeah, here today, gone to Maui.
Get
That what I
Go
no.
like this. Go, wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up. Oh,
Wrap
did
it
I
up.
tell you I told you, right, when we were in Hawaii, right?
Right.
Where I'm on first time I'm playing bongos, you know, percussion. This Mexican guy goes, Hawaiian guy goes, hey, Fred, why don't you come up to the mountain up there?
Yeah.
You know me, I'm insane. So he goes, you know, and we're gonna jump off this cliff and blah, blah, blah. I said, listen. So later on in the day, we're jamming, I'm drinking and, you know, beer, you know, and, you know, I'm feeling good. And the guy goes, you know, Fred, you wanna go? I said, you know what, I think we should go up there. So we get up there, make a long story short, we get up to the top of the thing, I'm looking down, I says, holy shit, I ain't jumping off of that. 40 feet down, Josh. So the guy goes, oh, just wait for the 5-foot wave. I said, wait for the 5-foot wave. So I get up, I'm looking, and I'm feeling good, but I'm at the same time I said, I'm dead
Right.
if I jump. But anyway, he jumps, he's looking, I see him, I said, oh, no. I says, frig it, that's it.
Right.
My life is over, and that's it. So I get up, boom, I jump, I go down, I hit 40 feet down, I hit the ocean, down I go. All of a sudden, I got no breath left, and I'm still going down, Josh. Finally, I start going up. I had like a little bit of breath left. I sprung. Now I know how it is to be reborn again. You know when they say, "Oh, you want to be born again?" I was born again. I hit the top. I started breathing. I said, "Oh my God, I'm alive." All of a sudden, you know what he says to me? Fred, we got to swim to shore. He said, "All sharks." I says, I was cursed to the mountain. I'm swimming you, buddy. Anyway, that's the story.
Anyway, I want to give a shout out
Go
there
ahead.
to your mom, Phyllis Coscia.
Phyllis Coscia,
Who
yeah.
we left wonderful memories.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, going
Gosh,
to,
this is unbelievable,
and
right?
your dad, you know,
Yeah.
Mr. C, as I
Yeah,
called
my
him back
father.
then,
Yeah.
and all the wonderful
he-
folks that I had the pleasure of meeting during that time. A shout
Yeah.
out to my kids, Dugan, Connor, and Pollyanna, and
Pollyanna.
Sylvia, my daughter, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah. God bless everybody, man.
Good to
And
see you.
could you play the Who Do You Like TV and we'll go out? All right, so that's it. That's the and we got to go on from here, Josh.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're gonna get on a major part now.
Yeah, the major part, absolutely.
Again, and we're gonna be out there too,
Yeah.
rocking and rolling.
Nice.
Who Do You Like TV? Pump it up. Come on, everybody, sing it. We're gonna make you a star.
Yeah.
Gotta come on the show. All right, we'll see you next time, everybody. Josh Cruze, Drew Coscia, Fred Coscia, and we'll see you on the tube.
On the two.
Or on the record. Put the needle on the record. Yeah, and get Josh's latest album, right? Josh Cruze?
All about love.
All about love, everybody. Yep. He's been all over the globe. All right, everybody. We love you out there. Dream big, right? Dream big, Josh.
Absolutely.
Show your talent. Make it shine. All right.
Dream big tonight. Get it right. Hold on tight.
Sing it. Who do you like? Yeah.
Take it to the top.
Take it to the top. There you go, guys. Take it to the. All right, everybody. We'll see you. We love you out there. Philippines.